Hey beauty queens, hey! So I'm back with a makeup video this time. So I've been doing vlogs for so long, I feel like maybe like a year or maybe a little over a year, but I wanted to do a review on the Makeup by Mario foundation. I did a little first impression on TikTok, but that's a first impression, and we know our opinion can change, our products over time. So I wanted to come on here and do like a more in-depth video, and I filmed this last week, like I swear to God, like 4 times, but I didn't have my remote set up, so I couldn't see myself and I couldn't see if I was in focus or not. So I was not in focus. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna film this next week because I'm getting frustrated and I'm not gonna film it again for it to just come out the same way. So I'm back today and we're gonna do another version of this video, even though I've done 4 of them. So I'm gonna apply the foundation and then I will do everything else off camera, but I'm kind of going to apply the foundation and then just talk through it as I apply it. So first thing I'm gonna do is actually put my hair back because my hair is always in my face. So I'm just gonna put this back a little bit, and yeah, then we're gonna apply the foundation. So first, maybe I should show you the foundation. That would be a great idea. Okay, my hair looks crazy, but it's okay, we're gonna make it work. Alrighty, so we have right here the Makeup by Mario foundation. This is what it looks like. Let me see if this camera will focus for me. Okay, kind of focusing, but not really. So this is what the foundation looks like. Very pretty bottle. The first thing I want to mention, now that we're talking about the look of this product, when I saw it in person in store, first thing right off the bat I noticed was that I saw some shimmer in this foundation. Like, looking at the bottle, if you just look really closely, you could see shimmer particles in here, which I found very interesting because this is from Makeup by Mario, and as we all know, he's a professional makeup artist, a very well-known, amazing professional makeup artist. And as somebody who was doing makeup professionally for a very long time, and I've also worked cosmetic retail, I know what consumers, the average makeup consumer, tends to stay away from, and that is any sort of glitter or shine or sparkle. For some reason people just don't like it. And again, I'm going to say the average consumer, so not a beauty guru or not somebody who's very like well versed in makeup, but somebody who is just an average consumer. So if I know that he is definitely aware of that. So I'm surprised that he would make a foundation that you could see sparkle particles in it, because I feel like he would not do that, just because he would know that people tend to stay away from products like that. But of course I got it anyway. My skin is dry anyway, so for me personally it would not be a problem because I have very dry skin, so I like luminous foundations, but I know that not many people do. So that's the first thing that I wanted to say, that I was very surprised that he created a very luminous foundation to the point where you could see little sparkles inside the bottle. So before I apply this, I'm going to apply this as a primer and moisturizer, a 2-in-1 kind of thing. So this is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. And I'm just gonna put some of this on my face. I really like this. I use this all the time. I use it before bed. I use it throughout the day sometimes. So that is what I'm gonna put on my face today. I have nothing else on right now. I'm just gonna keep it simple and put this on, and then I will apply the foundation. So this feels so good. If you don't have this, you should buy it, because if you're dry, you'll really like it. Alrighty, so next step. So for this, for application, I'm going to use a beauty blender. Now, since I am applying with a beauty blender, I want to talk about the importance of tools. So if you're going to use, man, I should have got myself a little mirror because I don't have that. Always keep in mind of how you're applying your product, because depending on what you're using, the look of the product will look very different depending on what you're using. So my initial application of this foundation was with a beauty blender. So when I applied it with a beauty blender, it looked very natural to me. And this foundation is said to be a medium coverage, which I absolutely agree on. I'm seeing a lot of people online saying that this is a medium to full, kind of buildable, and I would disagree. I would not go as far to say this is medium to full coverage, because when I think of full coverage, I think of truly full, not like medium to full. So this is absolutely a medium coverage foundation. If you're a girl who really likes a beat and really likes a nice full coverage, this is probably not going to be for you. It'll probably be a little bit too light for you. But yeah, so just wanted to speak on that really quick. But yeah, I'm also right now I'm applying with a beauty blender. So if you could see just by looking at me, I feel like it looks very natural, which I like. I really like a natural foundation, especially nowadays. Just, you know, just a preference thing. I just prefer something that's a little bit lighter these days, because I really don't, you can see my skin right here, I really don't have problematic skin. I really don't need a lot of coverage, so I've been kind of staying away from a full coverage. But this I really like. I've worn this foundation a couple times now, and when I apply it with a brush, a very dense brush, which, by the way, if you didn't know this, the denser the brush you use, you're actually gonna get the illusion of a fuller coverage. Even if the foundation is not a full coverage, using a denser brush will make your product look more, not more heavier, that's not a word, but it'll make you look more full coverage and as if you had more makeup on. When I apply this foundation with my dense brush, I definitely get like a more beat face. I have videos and pictures of me when I apply this foundation when I use my brush, and it looks like way heavier. And for a second there, for like 2 applications there, when I used the brush, I was like, okay, this is weird, because this foundation is looking really different from my initial application, from that first time that I applied it. So that was because I was using a different tool. So he also came out with a brush to use with this foundation. So that kind of makes me think that he wants you to use that brush for maximum application and maximum coverage, or I can't think of the word that I'm looking for right now, but I think you guys get what I'm saying. So if you apply this with a brush, it's going to look really different if you apply it with a beauty blender, because when I apply this with a beauty blender, it just looks way more natural, and I really like that. I prefer to wear this one with a beauty blender. But if you're a girl who likes a little bit more of a beat and you like a little bit more coverage, not crazy coverage, but you do like a little bit more coverage, you're probably going to want to use a brush with this, and you'll probably really like it. As far as pictures and videos, what I like about this foundation is in pictures and videos, it almost looks like a filter. Like, it's just got a really beautiful look to it. Like, it's not too heavy, it's not too sheer. So this is like the perfect foundation for if you're going out and there's gonna be pictures taken and there's gonna be videos taken. This is a beautiful foundation to wear. You're really gonna like it, because when I'm filming or when I'm taking pictures, this just looks really pretty on. Just really, really pretty. So this is kind of something that I'd lean more toward if I'm going out to dinner, or like, I don't know, I'm going out with my friends, an event, I would absolutely wear this. Now, for every day, I've also heard a lot of people say this is a great everyday foundation, but again, that's going to come down to preference and what you actually like. So if you're a girl who, again, likes to be a little bit more done up, this will be really pretty. But if you're like really low key and looking for something for the office, I don't know if you'll like that for that type of event and that type of party, because this is like, you could definitely tell that you're wearing makeup with this, you know what I mean? So this is more like, I don't know, with the girls, like going out, this is, I wouldn't call this like office type makeup, you know what I mean? But then again, that could be me, but you're looking at it right now. So I would say that this looks really natural because I'm applying it with a beauty blender. Again, when I apply it with my brush, I feel like it looks very different. And I would not call this medium to full, because no matter, you can layer this foundation, but no matter how much you layer it, it's not going to give you like super beat face, Kat Von D, Tarte, what was that Tarte foundation called from a really long time ago? I don't even know if they sell it anymore. It was like a Tarte. It was like clay something, if I'm not mistaken. If you know what I mean, that's like this is not that type of coverage in any way, but it's a really beautiful foundation. Like, I really, really love it. And again, I have really dry skin, so I've heard on TikTok a lot that people with very oily skin, this was a total disaster for them, and that's normal. There's a lot of foundations out there that cater to very oily skin that I absolutely cannot wear because I would look like a crocodile in it because my skin is so dry, and the second I go outside, my skin is like totally matte, like no matter what I do. And even when I go to events and I go outside and I'm like, yes, my skin looks so glowy, and I'm leaving the house so happy because I think I look so glowy, and then somebody comes up to me and they're literally like, your foundation is so beautiful and matte, what do you use? And I'm like, great, thank you, but not what I wanted to hear, because I actually want to look glowy. And they're always like, really? You look so good though, I love it, it looks really matte to me. And I'm like, yeah, because my skin is really dry, so everything just dries up on me so quickly. But yeah, so there's gonna be different products for different people. I'm sure in the future, because of all this feedback from the oily people that they really didn't like it, I'm sure he will have something that caters more toward oily skin, because I feel like a lot of brands do that. And I also feel like brands typically start out with a foundation that caters to oily skin. I don't know why I feel that way. Maybe it's because I'm dry, but let me know how you feel about that. But I feel like most foundations that brands come out with, they usually start out with a more catering to oily product and finish. I'm just applying a little bit of concealer. I'm using a Rare Beauty highlight. This is the first time I'm using this too, so let's see how this works out. Looks pretty. Okay, so I went and I added some concealer under my eye, and obviously you could see that I powdered under my eye too, but the rest I did not powder. So this is the rest of my foundation, what it looks like with no powder or anything like that. And I'm glad that I applied it and showed it to you without any powder or any concealer, because when you add powder and concealer, sometimes it can look a little bit heavier. But yeah, I wish people would kind of talk about tools more often, because it's so important and it's such like an integral part of the makeup process. Especially like this foundation is such a good example of that, because like I said, when I wear this foundation with a dense brush, I don't like the way it looks. I feel like I look a little bit too be-faced and I have too much makeup on. But when I wear it with the beauty blender, I think it looks really, really beautiful, and I love it. So if you have a foundation that you feel like you like, but you wish it was like a little bit more coverage and you just want to like amp it up a little bit, try using a denser brush, because that might really help. But yeah, so that's what I would say about this foundation. I'm gonna do the rest of my face and I will be back. Okay guys, so I did the rest of my face. I have powder on now, pretty much all over my face, lightly applied though. But this is the final look. So overall, I'm gonna give this foundation an 8 out of 10 because I really like it. I like the way it looks on my skin. I like that when I apply it with a beauty blender, it looks more natural, because lately that's just my preference. But yeah, I really like it. I really haven't had any problems with it. I feel like it lasts really well. I wore it out like for the entire day. I think I left at like 9 a.m. and I came back at 8 p.m. and it still looked really great. Like I didn't have to touch it up or anything. I didn't have any creases or anything like that. So I think that's really good. And again, don't forget about the brushes and what you're using to apply, because that will change the look of your foundation. So let me know if you bought this foundation and if you liked it, if you returned it. I know a ton of people returned it. So let me know what you ended up doing with this foundation, but I will see you in my next video. And if you have any other video ideas, let me know. And I'll see you guys later.